Welcome, Internet, to the 1 year super spectacular anniversary episode.
Pew.
I don't know what that means. Of Sis and Big Pop's culture. What do you mean?
Like on your phone when you have
the
air horn sound.
The air horn sound. That's good. I thought you were doing like lasers from Star Wars. Sorry.
That too, man.
So, welcome to episode 32 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. I am Big Pop Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art, and as always, my lovely co-host.
Hi, friends. I am Hannah Jo, a.k.a. Sis, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family-friendly.
Family friendly.
Family friendly, and it's our 1 year. We've been doing this for a year, Dad. Aunt Tammy says happy 1 year. Thanks, Aunt Tammy.
Whoop. Yes,
Yay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, if someone comments on the YouTube, the Facebook, we will put you in the hopper.
The hopper?
For... I don't know what else it would be called.
I don't know what that means.
The hopper. That's what like you would put little balls in the thing. We'll put you in the virtual hopper.
Oh, this is an auditory medium. The cage that people put the balls in for
bingo.
And for the bingo, and then they turn the handle and then one pops out.
B2. Yes. We'll put your name in that hopper, and we're going to give away a trade paperback of Homesick Pilots, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
Volume 1 of Homesick Pilots.
Let me give the spiel. How do we feel about that?
Tell us, what are we doing, Hannah? Break it down for us.
Today, we are going to go over some nerd news, what's happening in comics and toys and movies and TV shows. We're going to talk pop culture news, baby. We are going to... I think I'm funny. We are going to talk about what we're binging. Big Pops is going to go through his pull list for us. For those of you who don't know what that is, don't worry. We'll tell you all about it. And then we're going to review Homesick Pilots, which is a comic by Image. And we're going to talk about the film Aliens. Alien
Singular.
With no S.
No S.
Alien.
Correct.
There's just one in this. There's only one.
They only need to have one.
They're a man.
All right.
I have feelings about that.
Let's get down to it. Nerd news. Nerd news. To business. Hello. Welcome, everyone. I did that last time, and I really liked that. I thought that sounded really cool. This just in from the Nerd News Desk. Live.
I can't
from Bowling Green and Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I don't even know why I sound like that either. So... I've got like 1,000 things of nerd news.
I have just a couple things. That's not true. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, you go first, because I don't want to take one of yours.
There are 3 new Lego sets about the Mandalorian.
Yes, and did you notice that Lego took the name of Boba Fett's ship off the box? Really? It is not called Slave One.
It's called Boba Fett's Starship.
It's called Boba Fett's Starship.
I did not realize that.
Yes. And apparently they've done that with the other spaceships too, and no one just really noticed it until they were like, until it's Boba Fett, because
everybody loves Boba Fett. Well,
and everybody knows the name of Boba Fett's ship.
That's true.
Nobody knows the name of the other ships. I don't. Anywho.
Imperial Light Cruiser.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, there you go.
LOL.
X-Wing fighter. But I mean, Boba Fett's ship literally had the name.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how I feel about that. I get it.
I'm indifferent. Okay. Good for you. I mean, it is a starship.
What are the other
Boba
two
Fett
ships?
Owns it. The Imperial Light Cruiser, at the very end, when all of the people were busting in, they were like fighting, and then Luke shows up. Yeah. Sorry, that's not a spoiler, because if you haven't seen that yet, then I don't feel sorry.
That's sort of like not even like not knowing what happens at the end of WandaVision. I mean, you should all know that by now.
Okay, Dad.
Anyway, what's the other ship? What's the other ship? For those of you who don't know, Hannah hasn't finished it. What's the other ship?
Boba Fett Starship, and then the ship that they're in on the planet where he has to take his mask off.
Oh, yes.
That
the one with the comedian Bill Burr.
Yeah.
That was my favorite episode.
That was the best episode.
I mean, granted when Luke showed up, but I thought that was the best acted episode. I loved that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Awesome.
We both had the same piece of news. I think that's going to happen more than once.
I didn't have that.
Oh, well,
That's
you
new.
knew about it.
However, I've got 3 movies to talk about.
Okay, bring them on because I have 3 as well.
Okay,
4.
you go with the first one.
They're making Transformers movies still?
Yeah, and this one's Ron Perlman's going to be the voice of.
I don't know who that is.
You do know who Ron Perlman is. We have this discussion every time I talk about who Ron Perlman is. He's the original Hellboy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, right? Yes.
LOL.
So yeah.
Dad, at least I'm predictable.
You are predictable.
Aren't you
yes.
glad?
I did see that. This wasn't on my news either.
Dad.
I know it. That's crazy. But yes, they are making
right now,
it.
Man?
I don't know. How about Sing 2?
I don't have that on my list, but I knew that.
That's crazy. It looked like they were sort of doing, like the opening of the trailer looked like an American Idol type. Or they went,
that's what it was.
Is that what? Yeah.
I mean, Sing 2. What's the
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Oh, I'll watch it, but I don't know how I feel about it. How about, go ahead, say it. You're giggling like you, what?
The F9 is out.
I know. And if you didn't know, F10 and F11 are going to film simultaneously.
Yes! Wow!
And apparently they contacted NASA about how to launch a car into space. Oh, come on. That is crazy talk. That is just crazy talk. Crazy.
Made me so happy.
So,
I love it so much.
That was bonkers. Yes, I know. It's playing at our theater here at 9:50 at night.
Do you know that I know that because I'm coming home this weekend and I've already looked when it's going to be showing on Friday
so listen,
night.
I don't know how this is going to... Don't get your hopes up. I say that every time.
I know. Every time I'm like, let's go see a movie. I still haven't seen a movie over here.
Clifford and the Big Red Dog. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I love
live action movie. I know. How awesome is that?
My heart is like that emoji with like the smiling face with like 3 hearts around it. That's my heart goes, yay.
I know. I love Clifford
the Big Red Dog.
It is so good. And they just had a teaser out for it. So I'm like, listen, all these movies are supposed to start coming out. And hopefully we can watch them before 17,000 mutant variants of this virus comes around and we can't watch anything.
You need to not
again.
speak that into existence.
I'm not.
Let's not speak that into existence.
Oh, well.
I'm really excited about Tomorrow War.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt.
On Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime in 2 days. It comes out July 2.
We can watch that.
We can watch that. Hey, I'll bring my projector and we could watch that outside.
I've got a projector.
Okay, well, sorry that I'm just trying to be helpful.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, our family, my wife's extended family, gets together a couple times every year. And for 4th of July, they come to the Turner Abode in Mount Sterling.
Woo!
So we're getting psyched for that this weekend.
Liddy City, man.
Liddy City. So have you watched a Shang-Chi trailer yet?
You need to just send it to me because no, I haven't.
I can't believe this. I cannot flip and believe this. So the whole thing with the 10 rings and the Mandarin and the 10 rings. And
I read something that Wong is fighting the Abomination.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
Wong is the guy who is Benedict Cumberbatch's friends, and the Abomination is the bad guy who's like the Hulk, but it's not the Hulk.
Okay, so you do know who that is.
Okay, I know things, Dad.
Okay, well, so you know it, but I watched it and went, oh my gosh, that's the Abomination. I mean, this guy, the Abomination, hasn't been on screen for 10 years.
It was the first Hulk movie, right? The second
Yes,
Hulk movie
with
first?
Ed Norton. The second Hulk
Hulk
movie, the first
okay.
one in the MCU. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Emil Blonsky is the character.
Cool.
He has always been the antithesis to the Hulk. He hasn't literally been in a Hulk comic book for a while, but so, okay, I've said this before. I believe that they are preparing for a Thunderbolts
I don't know what that
group.
means.
Thunderbolts was a group put together. It was a comic book put together by Baron Zemo, but you didn't know it was Baron Zemo. He put villains together and made them heroes in order to infiltrate so that the villains could, take over and blah, blah, blah. But what happened is the villains liked being heroes.
Suicide Squad. Bring it on. Bring it on.
So, and
the Waller is a nug.
So you've already got Baron Zemo.
Yes.
You've got the U.S. agent.
Yes.
You've got Agatha Harkness. And you've got the Abomination. So you've already got...
That's the group. Oh, so you think that's where they're going?
I think that's where they're going. I think eventually there will be a villain team. Yeah, bring it on. So, anywho, that's what,
They started production on the new Black Panther film.
In Atlanta. I don't know what that means. I also saw where they had to stop production on Indiana Jones 5 because Harrison Ford is 127 years old and got hurt.
Aww.
Actually, he's 78. But
well, they already know what we think about Indiana Jones films.
I know.
Which we're a fan of.
I like Indiana Jones
We're a fan
films.
of, and you could stop.
That's the way to do it. We're a fan of, and you could stop.
You could stop. Did you see the leaked photos from Knives Out 2?
No, but I saw Ethan Hawke's in it.
Ethan Hawke's in it.
Kate Hudson.
Dave Bautista. Kate Hudson. And they're all like on a yacht.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's going to be so good.
I was surprised. I didn't think I'd like the first one.
We need to watch that movie and talk about it. Because that was
Have we not talked about it on our podcast?
No. Me and you just had a really in-depth 30-minute conversation about it on the phone after I watched it.
Nice. Yeah, we could. We should review that. We'll review it before it comes out.
Okay, dope. That's it. Those are my things.
Okay, well, I've got a couple more. Okay, July 7th on Disney Plus is The Simpsons, the Good, the Bart, and the Loki. They're doing a Loki-themed parody. They have a poster out for it and everything. It's like the Avengers Endgame poster. And Bart's, where Thanos should be is Bart's face. And like Lisa is Thor.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
I'm not like big on The Simpsons.
I'm not either. There are a lot of people who are.
But I think it's interesting how they have weaved themselves into pop culture and have remained relevant for so long.
They started as just a little itty bitty cartoon in the middle of a TV show that came out on Fox. I believe it was the Tracy Ullman show.
Cool.
I can't remember. It was either Tracy Ullman or a Gary Shandling show. You know who Gary Shandling is. You don't know that you know who Gary Shandling is, but he was the senator who ended up being Hail Hydra. Remember him? Sitwell was talking to him or whatever. Yeah. He's the one that pins the medal on.
And like stabs him with it.
Yeah. Yes. He passed away. That's sad.
Oh, that's sad.
Okay, so I had two more pieces.
Okay, bring it on.
So there's a new movie coming out called Mandibles, which is about two idiots adopt a giant pet insect in hopes of making money. The deal is there was a movie that came out, I don't know how many years ago, called Rubber, and it was about a tire that just rolled around and blew people's heads up with his psychic ability. It was just a tire. I don't know how I ended up down that rabbit hole watching that movie.
Probably because you watch like Sharknado and
it's the same guy that
octopus, the giant sea
know.
Creatures ones.
I don't know.
And there's like
the Megalodon or whatever. Or I don't remember. But anyway, so he's got a new one out called Mandibles, and who knows what's going to be about. Now, my last piece of news is about this Japanese manga that came out in 2008, has 11 volumes, and they are just now creating the anime for it.
Dope. What is it?
It's called Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, so basically it's this kid.
Does he have a chainsaw for arms?
All right, so there's this kid who was poor, and he was working for the Japanese underground killing demons. And then after he did what the Japanese underground wanted him to do, one of the devil demons killed him, but he was resurrected by his chainsaw dog, who was his best friend. So now he basically has he becomes this creature that has like a big chainsaw for a nose and arms, and it's going to be M for Mature. Absolutely. 100%.
Oh no, that does not sound fun.
So it looks bonkers.
I'm glad.
It's anime.
I'm here for an anime.
Yeah. There you go.
Sam
one more
says
thing.
that rubber is awesome.
Yeah. Sam's crazy. It is. It is awesome, which is so bad. It is terrible that it's awesome.
Oh no.
Yeah. So the Rock and Dave Bautista are going to be in a Christmas movie called
I saw
Red
that.
One.
And he said it's going to be Hobbs meets Miracle
on 34th Street. 34th Street.
I'm like, yo,
what?
Let's go. I'm here for those types of
I'm
films.
here for it too. That might be our Christmas movie. Who knows?
West Side Story?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe it'll come out Thanksgiving. There you go.
You know I'm there.
Hannah?
Yes.
What are you binging?
Okay. I have been doing a lot of reading recently.
Oh, so you're binging books?
I have been binging books. I've read, reread, more accurately, 4 murder mystery books, all by the same author, Dee Henderson. She was an author that I read in my youth.
Yeah, your youths.
In my youths when we had the book rule. So
yes. Yeah, the book rule.
The book rule. So I read.
What was the book rule, Hannah?
Okay. So I read books so fast and still do to this day.
Hannah would read books and never talk to a human. Most people, you would say, you can only watch so many hours of TV and then you have to be in the world. Hannah, we had to say, you can only read so many books and then you have to be in the world. The best was when she would tell people, my mom and dad won't let me read. That was terrible. Anyway.
I mean, technically. Well, another aspect
Hector
of that
just
rule,
says happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you, Hector. Another aspect of that rule was that I had to read 4 Christian fiction books before I was allowed to read 1 YA fiction book.
There you go.
And so I read all of the Dee Henderson books.
Well, they were good.
I mean, they are clearly. I am an adult woman and have just
reading them again.
Reread 4 of them in the past week and a half.
So that's what you're binging.
And Gravity Falls.
Yeah. So I still haven't watched it.
Dad, I just love it.
Okay,
and it
cool.
is
I'm for it.
Funny.
All
It is
right.
so funny. I also watched How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, the first one.
The first one.
I like all 3 of those
All of
movies.
the second is the best.
You think so?
I'm just going to throw
sort
it
of
out
like
there.
Empire Strikes Back?
I'm just
I
saying.
think Empire Strikes Back's the best.
Second's the best. I like the second one the best, but the first one still bops.
All right. Coolio.
Yeah. What about you?
I am 3 things. First of all, I'm going to read. I have a book in the background.
What are you going to read?
It's The Foundation by Isaac Asimov.
Have you read that before?
I have, but
there are 3 of them.
Well, there's a lot of them. But Apple dropped a trailer for it starts in September for The Foundation, and it looks fantastic. So I want to go back and reread it. But what I'm doing right now is I'm watching a show on Netflix.
What are you watching?
Kid Cosmic. Yes, I'm 53, and I'm watching a TVY7 cartoon.
I'm just saying, some of those bop, and some of them do not.
This is hilarious. This is a kid who is obsessed with comic books and superheroes and everything. And a spaceship crashes and he finds 5 rocks and he's like, yay, I found them. And he just collects these 5 rocks like he's riding on his bicycle. And they just call him the kid the entire show. So he has 5 rocks. Is it live
action? Is it anime?
No, animated. Animated.
Okay.
Each episode is 25 minutes long.
That's so fun.
I'm on episode 5. So what happened? You come to find out that like you have to really watch in the background, but there's a thing that shows that his parents are no longer something happened
so sad.
mysteriously. I don't know if they died or they're missing or whatever, but he's being raised by his Papa G, his grandpa. And this takes place all out in the desert. It's a close knit community, but it's a desert. So it's far, things are far away.
Is it Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Kid's on a bicycle.
Kids can be on a bicycle in a different planet.
All right, whatever.
You said Kid Cosmic, and so I'm like, oh,
well, that's why he's called
an
Kid
alien.
Cosmic. So he has these 5 rocks, and he's trying to get them to work, and he can't get anything to happen. He's like, he thinks they're magic. There's no way that you would know that these are magic, or that they're powerful. Of course they are. Woo! The alien had them, so he grabs one, and he finally realizes that he can fly. But he has to. His grandpa character who runs a he has a junkyard, and he fixes things and recreates things and does junk sculpture and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he's the local fix-it man too. So the kid Cosmic, he realizes he can fly. There is a girl who helps her mom run a diner. So they've got this diner. Her name is Joe, and she gets one of the. He basically glues rocks on these bolts that fit on.
And so he makes some rings.
He makes some rings. So she puts one on, and she can create portals.
Dope.
Portal girl. He says that she goes, you can't even get my name right. And there's this little 4-year-old girl who always wants to play, and he's like, no, get out of the way. He's just annoyed by her. And then all of a sudden you're like, you hear some goon, goon.
She's
goon.
huge.
Yes, the episode was, I think it was episode 3. It was called Kid Cosmic y la Niña Gigantica. She's a giant girl. Aww. And the grandpa gets one, and he becomes multiples. He's called Mini Man Grandpa. Grandpa Man, Mini Man. Yeah. And he'd be like, and he's so positive. The grandpa is so positive. They've actually captured one of the aliens, the evil alien that was coming in to grab the stones, and it's voiced by Tom Kenny, which is the voice of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And his name is Chuck. It's hilarious. So, I mean, the last stone, Joe's like, where's the last stone? He goes, it's completely in a place that no one will ever grab it. It is around a cat's collar. And the cat, all of a sudden they show the cat, and all of a sudden this cat goes, meow, 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 meow. The cat can see the future. So the cat's name is Tuna Sandwich because Kid Cosmic found it as a kitten, as a stray, and would feed it tuna sandwiches. Mm-hmm. So it becomes like the community's cat. And so in one episode, the cat is trying to get to save them all because the cat sees the ship exploding, and the cat gets halfway there, and then somebody from the diner who rides him, like an old grandma that rides a motorcycle, look me like my dad, but as a grandma. What are you doing, Tuna Sandwich? Picks it back up, drives it all the way back to the diner. And the cat's like, So I am loving it. It is so fun.
Well, you're explaining it in a way that it just makes it sound like so much fun. I want to watch it.
Yeah. I picked up some comic books that are prequels into the Final Crisis. It's 52 weeks.
Okay.
And it's 52 comics. They put one out a week.
Oh, dope.
So I got all 52 of those, and I'm starting on those, and I'm really enjoying them. So, yeah.
What is it? 52 Crises?
No, 52 weeks. I don't know what the heck real name is. I just read the book.
Okay.
It's really pretty cool so far.
Sam said that Gravity Falls is so good, and I just needed to let you know that someone else agrees with me, and so that you should definitely watch it because Marianne says it's so good, and Sam says it's so good, and I say it's so good.
Apparently you all have to graduate with you in order for it to say good. See, because no one else who hasn't graduated
Sam didn't graduate.
Oh, he's a year ahead of you, wasn't he?
Yeah. So
okay,
your explanation doesn't hold up in a court of law.
Gotcha. That's right. Court of law. Okay. So what do we want to do?
Pull list?
Let's do pull list. So first off, today is Wednesday when we're recording this.
Today's comic book day.
I have sad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So those of you who are listening, if you could say a special prayer for my friend Scott, his mom passed.
Oh,
I know. That's sad. Scott is my comic book store
owner. Local comic book shop.
Local comic book shop guy. So send some positive vibes out to him if you could.
That's so sad.
So my books that I'm reviewing today, let's go with I think I did.
Okay.
A pull list.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with it. A pull list is a list of comic books that you ask your local comic book shop guy or girl, who is Scott.
Or proprietor, individual.
Person, lamp, who pull the comic book from their stock before they go on the shelf so that you make sure and get them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm doing 2 independent, 2 from DC, 2 from Marvel,
and a book of the week.
Book of the week. Okay, so I also have an honorable mention.
Oh,
Jonna and the Impossible Monsters.
You have talked about Jonna and the Impossible Monsters so much.
It just finished a story arc, so if it comes out, we'll get it, we'll read it, and we'll review it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the end. I like the end, but the next one starts sort of in a stranger danger type of spot. But anyway, so
who's that by?
That is by Oni Press, ONI Press. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, friends, if you're listening to this, you can look in our show notes. On the podcast app on your podcatcher of choice, and I have listed the comics,
the comic books,
and
required reading.
Required. Yes. the syllabi for this class indicates that you must have read this, and this by this class date.
All right,
prepared, children.
I'm going to dive in.
Okay,
I'm going to do my Marvel books first.
Love that.
So one of the Marvel books that I can't stand it.
Well, then why are you collecting it?
Because it's good. It's so difficult to read. So Marvel does this thing called Life Story, where they'll like take a character and they'll
they're doing that for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're doing it for the Fantastic Four.
Does something happen?
The best part about the Fantastic Four is that I always see them triumph as a family, and in this case, it's like, it's not all peaches and cream. I mean,
that's really sad.
In this issue, basically, and this happens throughout the comic book, Reed Richards is not the best husband in the world because he's always invested in his work. Sue leaves him, takes the kids. Guess who she shacks up with?
Doom.
Submariner.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Namor.
Namor. Why you got...
Yeah. However, so anyway, the book has a lot of emotion. What? What are you saying?
It's a life story.
Yeah, Fantastic Four Life Story, issue 2. A book I got, it wasn't even on my pull list, but it was a #1 and it came out, and I thought, I'll get it. It's called Gamma Flight, which is basically a spinoff of The Immortal Hulk, which I've really been enjoying, The Immortal Hulk. And that...
I was going to say, I know of Gamma Flight because we read about that.
Right. Al Ewing is the guy who writes Immortal Hulk, and his run's going to be ending
and so he's doing
50.
a Gamma Flight.
He's doing a miniseries. It's just 5 issues.
Cool.
And this spotlights the characters that had been tracking down Gamma-powered people. And I really love the interplay with Titania and Absorbing Man. It's really good.
Okay.
I enjoy the issue. It was fun. And actually, I sort of liked it better than I've been liking the Immortal Hulk.
Yay. We love that.
Because the Immortal Hulk has just been all over the place. It's been hard to follow, but
gotcha.
Gamma Flight seems like it actually has a...
Dope.
I will probably continue getting it because I think it's just 5 issues.
Yeah, 5 issues for sure.
So I bought a new #1 from Image called Vinyl, VINYL. Woo! Okay, so let me just say the art is great and the story is weird and bonkers and definitely for adults.
Okay, like Homesick Pilots kind of weird and bonkers?
No, bonkier than that. Like mass murderer, psycho killer. Yeah, there's like a...
Psycho Killer, isn't that a song?
Yeah, that's by Talking Heads.
Sorry.
So apparently this guy, when he knocks people off, he plays a record. That's why it's called vinyl.
Ooh, I hate it.
And so there's been a FBI agent who's been following him, and trying to befriend him to find out what he's done, where he's done, all blah, blah, blah. Well, you come to find out that the record guy knows he's FBI all along. He's known this all along. And that there's somebody out there trying to kill the FBI guy from a different thing. It is weird. It's listen, it's like this lady has groomed all these girls to, I don't know, it's weird.
I don't like it.
I know, I don't like it either, which is why I'm not going to get any more.
Okay.
But I thought, I read it so you don't have to. Okay? There you go.
So if you had seen that on the shelves, ladies and gentlemen, and we're like, I wonder if this is my jam. Perhaps it's not.
Well, I mean, it's got a guy with headphones in and a record behind him. It's like a Daisies with the record for the middle, and he's got blood all over him. So, Daisy. I love that. Are you being Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey? So my second independent is from Image.
Oh, we love Image though, man.
And this is issue 16 of Ascender, which I've been collecting for a while. We've
talked about Ascender before.
It's written by Jeff Lemire, the guy who wrote Sweet Tooth. So, is
it the same art style as Sweet Tooth?
No, this art style is like watercolor. Ooh, it's like painting. Pretty. The artist name's Dustin. And it's Nguyen. I'm going to butcher his name, so I don't want. But it has to do with he did an entire run of 32 issues called Descender, which talked about robots have been outlawed.
Okay.
No. Robots were going to take over.
Outlawed.
Yeah, robots were going to destroy the humans because they had been mistreating the robots. So now this takes place later, and it's called Ascender, and now it's all magic, and anything technology has been outlawed. So the little boy robot from the first one has come back, and this is basically issue 16 is everyone is coming together. We're getting ready. Sure feels like we're getting ready for the final axe to fall. So the little boy's name's Tim 21. He's a robot, but he was the pseudo brother for a guy who's now grown up an adult and has a child.
Okay.
So he loves people. And so it's going to be like, how do we create this society where people, robots, and magic all exist
Well, we
together?
can all be friends.
Exactly. That's how I feel. That's how I feel like it's
Come
going.
together.
All right.
Now.
So my last three are DC.
Be
I
friends.
can't believe I'm a Marvel guy and this is my last
You've been a DC guy recently. You've been liking their books more and more, I think.
Robin issue 3 came out.
You and the Robins.
Yeah. So Damian Wayne, he's still on the fight island where they have to kill people and you can die 3 times. Remember, we talked about that. You can, right. And you come to find out that you only heal if you die. So if you don't die, you don't heal.
Oh, no. Are there doctors on the island?
So what happens
Perhaps
is...
we need a doctor. Medic!
There is a character who's being revived.
Sorry.
Who everyone thought was dead, who fights him and pushes him and knocks him off a cliff and leaves it, but he doesn't die.
Uh-oh.
So Robin wakes up and he has been started to be nursed back to health by his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. Dun, dun, dun. So Robin's been pretty cool. I really enjoy it. And I think that after this story arc's over, I'll probably drop it because I can't imagine a full Robin book sustaining itself for too long. But anyway.
Sorry, that was a mean laugh.
DC is putting out a thing called Infinite Frontier.
Yes, we've talked about that before.
Right. So this is a miniseries, 1 of 6.
Okay.
And issue 1 came out. I'll be collecting this. And it pulls superheroes from all the different universes are trying to protect the multiverse.
Everybody's
feels
up and
like
about the multiverse right now, man.
It's feeling like another one of those the crisis is coming and thing. But so
man, why do they always got to be copying each other? Just do
but
your
like
own thing.
They have the Justice League Incarnate.
Ooh.
It's made up by Captain Carrot, which
know who that
is
is.
Captain Carrot and the Zoo crew were all animal superheroes. And so Captain Carrot's the only one left from his planet.
Captain Carrot
Aqua Woman.
Dope.
So from her planet, she's basically the Aquaman character. There is Superman, but he is the African American Superman.
Cool.
Where he is President Superman.
Yeah.
Dope. And there were two other characters that just escaped me. But anyway, and Batman's dad, Thomas Wayne, who is Batman. So,
okay.
And two other characters.
Cool.
And it's going to be Darkseid. You know it is because he's on the daggone cover holding planet Earth in his
love
hand.
Darkseid.
I know. So, yeah.
Cool.
So it's cool. I'm wondering how that's going to end up. But my book of the week.
Book of the week. Tell us the book of the week.
Mr. Miracle and the Source of Freedom.
Mr. Miracle.
So this is and the Source of Freedom. So this is by DC. This is issue 2 of 6. I got the first one just to read and said, I'm not going to get the second one, but Scott put it in my bag. So I got it and it is so good. So Mr. Miracle and Big Barda are two of my faves that I love.
They are. Okay. I'm with you.
They are my favorite. Yes. My favorite Marvel, my favorite DC, my favorite comic book couple of all time.
More than Reed Richards and Sue Storm?
Absolutely.
Okay, because they actually love each other, perhaps?
And would do anything for each other.
Okay,
and,
love that.
So what happens is this is in a different, this spins off from the DC Future State. This is a different Mr. Miracle. This is, first of all, he is black and he keeps his face hidden because he doesn't think that the world could handle a black superhero.
That's really
sad. So he is Mr. Miracle. He has a mother box and all this stuff, and he is an escape artist. And at the end of the last issue, he gets confronted at the very end by a character who we don't know who it is. Well, we know who it is now. It is the daughter of Big Barda and Scott Free, of Mr. Miracle and Big Barda.
Aww. And
she's like, take that off. It doesn't belong to you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, he is, while fighting her, part of his suit is destroyed and a security camera catches part of his face. So it's just interesting. Cool. It's a good comic book, and I'm going to continue. This is how it portrays race, and how it's portrayed in this community, in this society is, I don't know. It reminds me of there's a TV show that you can watch on HBO Max called The Watchmen, the TV show.
You've been watching that.
I've watched it. I'm back to watching it again, and one of the characters is a black man wanting to be a superhero in like the 20s or 30s. But here's what he does is he paints his face white under a hood so that people will accept him as a superhero. It's just amazing how I would have never thought of that.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. So it reminds me of that. And if you're an adult and you can handle that kind of stuff, the HBO Max show is really good.
I've heard it's really good.
But it's got a lot of,
It's for grown-ups. It's an HBO.
Is definitely for grown-ups.
It's an HBO show, and it's for
grown-ups. There you go. That's all I should have to say.
I'm just saying, if a show comes from HBO, it's going to be a show for grown-ups, man.
So, Hannah, that's my comics. That's my pull list. Okay. I think we should talk Alien.
Okay, I have my list pulled up because I watched Alien by myself.
Well, let me give a little bit of lowdown.
Okay. Give us the lowdown, Papa.
For those of you who've been living under a rock for the last 32 years, Alien...
Raising my hand.
Out,
Hannah Turner.
Alien
I've never seen it before in my life.
Came out in 1979. It cost $11 million to make. It made $106 million at the box office, which is pretty good. It won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects.
Woo!
And this is
It changed sci-fi horror.
This is, and actually the producer, and to get one of the characters in it who's been in a lot of stuff, Henry Dean Stanton, who was the one of the mechanics. He's like, I don't like monsters and I don't like sci-fi. And he's like, this is a thriller. This is not a monster movie or a sci-fi movie. It's a thriller. And he's like, okay, I'm in. So anyway, Hannah.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
So I had my notes app up.
Why don't you explain to me what happens? You give me the plot of the story through your person. Hannah's never watched it before. I've watched it multiple times.
There are a ragtag group of individuals who working for
minors.
A company who they don't really trust the company, and they don't really much care for them. They're doing it for the monies. They need the monies. And so
they're bringing back ore.
They get woken up. They're in like a deep slumber. Think like passengers, like going from one place to the next. They're in stasis, or interstellar, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
They get woken up. They think that means that they're in Earth. They're close to Earth. Perhaps they've reached Saturn. No, indeed, they're in a completely different system. It's going to take them months to get back to Earth. Mother. LOL, that the ship's computer is called Mother. Mother. Hate it with my entire being that it's called. Literally wrote, where's my note about that? LOL at the ship's computer being called Mother. I thought that was silly and kind of spooky.
It is. Spooky. I think so. I mean, right. Spooky. Yeah. So anyway, Mother wakes them up.
Mother wakes them up because they've received a distress call, LOL, expanse, and they have to go check out the distress call. And then they go there. This guy's a dum-dum and falls down, gets something connected to his... I'm sorry. Sitting there leaning over. Looks as if there's this fog. Falls. I'm like, my God.
He's in a spacesuit, first of all.
What do you do?
Did you catch the big guy, the big starship? They're in a starship.
Yeah,
and the one guy was the pilot or whatever.
He's like, it looks as if there was something in this man's chest and has exploded from his chest. And I'm like,
so let's keep looking.
This sounds like a great place to be. Let's stay here.
So he falls down, and one of those things pops out of an egg and gets stuck on his face.
LOL at Ridley being the only person. Ridley or Ripley?
Ripley.
Her
name's Ripley.
At her literally being the only person with a brain in this entire ship.
Sigourney Weaver plays Ripley. This was her first big movie.
Really?
She had been Broadway before.
She crushed it in this.
Actually, she was the last person cast for this film.
Really?
The girl who said, "Oh God, oh God."
I cannot stand her at all.
She thought she was going to be Ripley.
And she wasn't.
Until they went to start filming. Yes.
Oh, that's a juicy piece of tea, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
It's a juicy piece of hot goss.
So they bring first of all, you don't see this thing attached to his face. They bring them back to the ship that's on the ground, and they're like, let us in. And
Ripley's
go ahead.
like, no, I'm not going to do that. Are you kidding me? Something happened. You've been contaminated.
Well, there's rules.
Yeah. And she's like,
there's rules.
It's to keep them safe too. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't want them in there too.
What happens, Hannah?
Ash, complete sus.
The science officer
is like, let them in, and then pushed it. And I literally wrote number 5. Okay, I'm just going to go through. 1, so many cigarettes in space. They're just smoking cigs the entire
They're just
time.
smoking cigs
They're
the
just
entire
smoking
time.
cigs. And I'm like,
I thought that too. I was like,
y'all are bonkers. Cool that it was a diverse cast for a movie that was created in the 70s. That there were women and a black man in the cast. I thought that was really cool. And
the alien was played by like a he was like Paraguayan or Uruguayan or Brazilian or whatever. So anyway,
number 3,
it was a diverse cast.
Space Cat in all caps with multiple exclamation marks.
Wait, what was the cat's name?
I don't know.
He had a name.
He
did. Jonesy.
Mm-hmm. Space Cat.
Yeah.
Number 4, I would do very poorly as a space scientist. Like, these people are smart, but they're so dumb.
They're not dumb.
They fall.
Ash did this on purpose.
Number 5, Ash is sus. For those of you who don't speak millennial/Gen Z. Sus means suspect. Ash is
and
sus.
Ash is played by Ian Holm, also known as Bilbo Baggins.
No way. No, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And John Hurt is the War Doctor.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, John Hurt wasn't supposed to be in that role. The person who was supposed to be in that role got sick all of a sudden and had to leave, found out that he had just been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and got bronchitis. And John Hurt, they're like, hey, can you come do this? And he's like, sure, I'll do it. My other movie fell through. So.
Okay, so they
bring them back to the big
brings
ship.
them onto the big ship. The guy has this thing stuck on his face. They try to cut the thing off, but the thing's blood is made of acid, and so they can't cut him off. And then they can't pull him out because if they pull him out, then he'll suffocate and die. And so they just kind of leave him there, and then the thing pops off and is dead.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this man is fine. Yay, that's great. And then they all are sitting down eating lunch. And then the guy
Here's the deal. Did you notice? First of all, did you notice that the one guy was like, why don't we just freeze him? Why don't we freeze him? Take him back and freeze him. Mm-hmm. And Ash is like, yeah, why don't we freeze him? Let's freeze him. Let's freeze him. And the captain, who is also the turd muffin on Contact, the one who with Jodie Foster.
Oh,
where they have to takes her spot.
Bug. What a
do you realize that now?
Yes, no,
he takes her spot, ends up dying.
The snot.
Yeah. But he's like on this. He's like, no, let's take it off. So, but Ash wanted to freeze him and take him back, but they wouldn't do it.
Okay,
because the ship. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
So the thing, the alien's inside him, but we don't know it, and he bursts out of this guy, and then he dies, and then
at the dinner table.
They were gonna get him, and then Ash is like, don't, and then he slithers away and is really small. And then Ash creates this little device so that they'll be able to find him, and then they let Jonesy out, and then turns out he's molted, and now he's huge. Number 6 is, it's huge, in all caps. Would underline if I could have, but I couldn't. This alien's giant, man. It's giant. And then Sigourney's like, well, everybody, and then they try to burn him out, but they can't. And then it's like a horror flick, man. Everybody's dying one by one. Nobody's making it out of this place alive. And then Ripley's like, well, I'm the person in charge now, so I'm gonna go say what Mother has to say about this, because why are we even pulled into this place? Because this is dumb. And goes there. And then Mother's like, I can't tell you. It's been restricted by the science officer. And she's like, Ash, what did you do, Ash? And then Ash starts coming at her. And I'm like, this man he's an old guy. And he's not not huge.
Yeah.
So
but
it would have been a fair
dude.
fight. And it would have been a fair fight, though. So I'm like, this man, how in the world could he beat her so easily? Because I'm like,
yeah, but the other guy comes and helps her too.
Yeah, the other guy comes and helps her. But I'm like, I literally, all caps, OMG, knew it about Ash.
Knocked his head off with a fire extinguisher.
His head comes off, and he's spitting white stuff and is a robot.
Milk.
He's a robot.
Yes.
Ash is a robot.
Ash is a robot.
I
and he
had
was programmed,
no idea.
Programmed to bring back the
alien,
because the company wants the alien. Yeah. And basically, like you said, it ends up she thinks she kills it by blowing up the ship.
I literally wrote update.
It's literally right there. Its head is there while she's doing something.
And she sees it, and I said, Ripley cannot catch a break, poor gal. Also, this alien sucks. And so she's in her panties and an undershirt, and is like breathing really heavily, and is sneaking into a space suit so she can vent the ship so that the alien can get off. But then she hits him with a grappling hook to kick him out, and then the grappling hook gets stuck in the door, and then she has to fire him to death. And I'm like, girl, she cannot catch a break. Girl cannot catch a break.
Well, guess what?
Good movie.
At the end of this movie, she does go into cryosleep, and the ship misses Earth. and she's found like 50 something years later.
Is the cat dead?
And no, cat's with her. And they have colonized that planet.
Why are people dumb?
That's an Alien 2. That's an Aliens. And it's great. But Aliens is an action flick.
Is that the one where she like gets in the thing and is like bang, 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 bang?
Yeah, with the
yeah. The robot suit
that's
thing.
it. The robot suit. Yeah. But anyway, and the funny thing is that there is a character in that Aliens movie. They're doing this thing where they do this knife thing between people's fingers.
Does someone cut his finger off?
I don't know if you ever seen people do that. And they're like, hey, come do this. I can't remember the name of the character's name. And he starts doing it. He's like doing it super fast.
And he's like robot.
And he goes, because he like cut himself and it's that milky stuff. And she's like, no one told me there was an android on this ship.
And did nobody know that he was an android?
Everybody knew he was an android, but Ripley didn't. Ripley hates androids.
I mean,
anyway,
are you kidding me? If you're first,
so did you like 12. This movie?
I did like this movie. It was very, very good. I'm glad that I watched it. I kept expecting, like, you have shown me that clip of that pregnant lady, and she like gives birth, and it's an alien.
Oh, that's in Prometheus. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
And so I was expecting that to happen. And I was like, where's the pregnant lady? There's no pregnant lady. No. And finally I Googled it and I was like, oh, different movie. Yeah. My number 12 is, please, Lord, if there is life somewhere else, I would like it very much if they were kind.
That would be nice. Absolutely.
That's my number 12.
So this movie was made in 1979.
Yeah.
And I think it holds up pretty well.
It does. Like, genuinely, like, I wasn't, like, some of the things when it, like, zoomed in really close on the alien, you could, like, tell it was, like, a puppet or, like, clay or something.
Oh, the little one. The little one was a puppet. The big one was a suit.
The big one, like, they had, like, his teeth that, like, kind of came out or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of gross. And you could tell it was not real.
Right.
But, I mean, other than that, man.
Yeah, even the spaceship, the model was, I mean, because those were models.
No, it
fantastic.
Wasn't bad.
And it was funny because it was like, I see this now, especially like in Loki, they call it retrofuturism, where they like take old things and make it the new future, so like but how they even type stuff in and I think it worked.
No. It wasn't hard to watch. Like, I've watched movies that are hard to watch.
This is rated R, so this is for adults only because of the violence and language. There's some language, not a lot, but the violence and suspense, because it is basically a thriller.
He's like, I was like, ah!
Yeah, they do a really good job because they basically keep the alien hidden. You don't really get to see the whole alien hardly at all till the very end.
Very end, and that's when Ripley's like, easy,
kicks it out the door. Wayland Yutani.
That was bonkers, man.
So how many aliens would you give this? How many?
Here's the thing. I can watch this and appreciate it for what it is.
Gotcha.
But
it's not your kind of movie.
But it's not my kind of movie. And so, I'm glad to have watched it, and I think it's a phenomenal
This is in the
film.
National Register of Films. It's considered one of the...
It's definitely 5 out of 5 of, like, aliens or whatever type of like, we choose to give it.
Gotcha.
It is not something that I would choose to go see by myself in a movie theater, and it's not something that I would be like, hey, let's go see this film together. I can watch it and appreciate it for what it did for cinema, what it is for, like, the characters, and that it's, like, objectively a good film. Like, objectively,
with a great
cast. Is. And the cast is phenomenal. It's well acted.
So this is directed by the same guy who did The Martian.
Yeah, I saw that. I Googled him afterwards. And The Martian, too, is objectively a good film.
Very good. That's one of my faves, too. It's a 5 out of 5. Yeah, this is the best alien film ever. Alien, anyway, I think.
Like Alien franchise? Or
definitely that. I mean, of any alien movie out there, I think this is the best. Well, it's a horror flick. Well, it's a thriller. I don't know. It's hard to classify this movie. It's a great movie.
What I was reading about it was that it started the sci-fi horror genre.
Yeah, I can see that. And there are a lot of those out there. I mean, what was that? The wacky movie where the aliens crash landed on Earth and they filmed it all with like a shaky cam.
Cloverfield?
Cloverfield. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know.
No, I would never choose
I
to
liked
watch
Alien
that.
a lot better. Yeah.
That's not my
So that's it. Alien. Now,
phenomenal.
we read a trade paperback of Homesick Pilots, which is a comic book. This covers
like
the
a horror
first
comic. Would you say?
Covers the first 5. It is a horror comic. Yes and no.
We review a lot of horror
no.
comics on the podcast.
Yeah, we do. Maybe we should start recording something that's not. Well, if John and the Impossible Monsters isn't.
And Wind.
Neither
I want to
is
read
Wind.
Wind, Dad.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'm realizing.
Buy yourself one, and we'll read it. Well, 7 Secrets wasn't.
No, 7 Secrets wasn't. Just like what I'm coming to realize is that they tend to have the best stories.
Well, I think the issue
fun.
is these are generally creator owned. And
Really? Okay.
Whereas with a superhero comic book, you are really limited to what you can do with it. So, anyway. So this is called Homesick Pilots. It's written by Dan Waters, and it's drawn by a gentleman, I cannot pronounce his last name. It's Wijnegard.
Casper.
And Casper. I think his Twitter name is Casper
Mr.
Nova.
Casper W.
Yeah, there you go. I was really hoping that one of them would be like, hey, we'd love to be on this podcast and talk about our book with Sis and Big Pops. However, all I got was a like on the Twitter.
That's cool,
Not
man.
a like is good. Yeah. So this comic book it follows, we've read one of the comics, we've talked about it
We read the
before.
first one and talked about it.
It follows
the Pilots.
which is a punk rock band. There's another punk rock band called the Nuclear Word We Can't Say because we're family friendly. It starts with a B, and it's people who are motherless children, motherless son, whatever. Anyway, and they're 2 punk rock bands. What happens is they both go into the old James house, haunted house, and stuff goes crazy. It follows the lead singer of the Homesick Pilots. She then goes and recovers stolen artifacts that are haunted from the house. And it also, at the end, you find out that the lead singer of the nuclear team is not dead. That she has been kept
She's been
by
kept
the house.
alive by the house. This house is spooky.
Right.
This is a spooky house. I'm still a little confused. Like,
Okay, go ahead. Tell me. What are you confused about?
Is it Amy or Ami?
I'm going with Amy.
Amy?
Amy is the lead singer from the Homesick Pilots.
And she's the person who the house adopts.
Okay, so all of the Homesick Pilots are all foster children. Right? And apparently something happened to her mother, Amy's mother, that is like, people think, I don't know if people think she killed her, did something to her or whatever.
I don't
so
know.
there's history there.
Sad.
We haven't really talked about it.
We don't know what it is.
There is Rip and Buzz are her 2 bandmates. One
Rip
of them
goes off the
smokes a
deep
lot
end.
of weed.
Rip
That's Rip.
starts doing the drugs.
and
Pretty heavily.
Buzz is continually trying to find Amy. And he would go into the house and map the house, and the house kept changing, so he couldn't find her. And would send
he would
Amy
send her
out.
Amy away, like, here, go find this ghost for me.
Yes. But what happens is, in one of the issues, Amy goes to get one of the missing ghosts.
And it's like
However,
a cassette
there is
or VHS?
that is not her ghost. That is a different ghost there to stop to get her.
She hates
So
them.
the house then bestows Buzz with
the
power
luck.
and sends Buzz to go help her.
Yes.
And
this luck creature, though, man.
Do you know who the luck creature is? Did you read
Mr.
it?
James.
That's the guy.
That's the house.
The owner of the house. That is the house.
Spooky.
Yeah.
I don't like him. He's got a creepy face.
He doesn't have a face. He's just got a horseshoe.
He's got a horseshoe
The
and a
art
mouth.
is really good. The colors are like red and purple
Reds
and
and
dark
purples and
colors.
blues.
Maybe some white, light colors. When Amy is ghosty around the edges, she says.
She's white. Like she glows.
She's white.
Her hair changes colors. Her hair is black, and when she's ghosty, her hair is white.
And the one cop beat up that dude. Did you catch that? Huh?
Yep, I caught
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that either.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
So
that was a turd.
I have a lot of friends who are police officers, and none of them would do that. So, but anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Anywho, so
it was.
What do you think about the book?
Spooky. I really, really liked it.
I really like it.
I really, really liked it. It is very fun to read, and it keeps your brain thinking. You're kind of like, I don't know. What are you doing? What is this? What's going on?
What's happening?
I don't understand.
Because at the end of the trade paperback and at the beginning of the next issue, it completely changes.
Yeah. And it's like
because
you fast forward.
Because the house is
years.
I don't think so.
No, you do.
It's 94 or 95.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I thought she was older. It's 94.
The house is destroyed in the ocean. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm using air quotes.
You don't think the house is destroyed?
I know the house isn't destroyed. I read the next comic book.
You have the next one?
And
the girl in the red, she's the one who the house had kept.
Do you know what that is?
No.
That is the blood of the people who were murdered in the house.
But
she is
she's
covered
red
in blood.
Still?
That's their blood. It won't come off.
But
she is covered.
Her face isn't red anymore.
It comes off and then goes back. She can wipe it off and it comes back. So she
just wears all red.
Is trying to
destroy the house.
Help the ghost hunters. Basically, we find out that there's a government group of ghost hunters, but they're not really government. They're sort of like laid back. They're like, hey man, we're doing this. It's like I don't know, like hippies.
It felt kind
of. It would be like a grunge band trying to do a ghost hunting. I don't know.
It's like what is it called? The TV show with that the movie that became a TV show with that one guy who's the voice of Ultron, and there's a Stargate.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess it feels sort of like that. An underground
group of people, and everybody's like, y'all are crazy, but okay. I guess we'll help you.
Yeah. And
I guess you have government money.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
I think it was really fun. I really, really enjoyed the art of it. It reads really easy. Like, it's not hard to understand.
But going back and rereading it really helped.
Okay, I need to do that. I read it, and it was just so easy to read. Maybe I read it a little fast, too. Just because it was so much fun and so easy to read. Mm-hmm. I think it's up there on one of my favorites that we've read. I don't think it's surpassed God Country yet.
Oh, no, God Country's
God Country's my favorite thing we've read so far.
Oh, wow. Sure. Well, tell Donnie Cates. Maybe, why don't you tweedify him? See if we can get him on here. It's
my favorite that we've read so far, for sure.
All right. Well, Valifax. It's a good story.
Homesick Pilots is up there, like top 5, I think, of the books we've read so far.
Good deal. So, end roll.
Well, first, I'm so glad we do this.
Yes. I'm so glad we do this.
We've done this for a year. I love you.
I know. Woohoo. Hey. I know. Great. Maybe we can do like a live taping with everybody here over 4th of July weekend.
I mean, that could be fun,
not.
But also awful, depending.
It could be awful. Yeah. Oh, well, anyway.
It might be hard.
So anyway, people, thank you for hanging in with us for a year. Yes. We're getting better at it, I think. And you know what? We've had new people jump on. And if you like it, great. If you don't, keep it to yourself.
Please rate our podcast with the 5 stars and 5 stars only.
5 stars only. Anyone wanting to rate us with 1 star, don't.
You're banished.
Don't.
Just
however, if you do, it won't affect anything we do because we're going to do it anyway.
Yes. Okay. End roll. Let's do the end roll.
Our art is made by
Nathan. Hey, thanks for doing that for us, bud. He made that in Microsoft Paint. What a phenomenal nug to be able to do that.
Awesome.
Our intro music is done by Brockwell Nason. Check him out anywhere you listen to music. You can stream his stuff. He's a pretty good artist. I edit our podcast and upload everything. Dad maintains our YouTube website and making sure that you can watch our beautiful faces if that's the way that you prefer to. If that's the way you prefer to engage with media.
We had 15 views on the last one I put up.
Hey, dope.
I think 7 of them were me, though. I don't know how that works.
How do you manage
I'm just watching it on different computers.
I think 7 of them were me. Hey, thanks for hanging with us.
Share. Hang with us. Let us know what you think.
Comment and subscribe. I'm just kidding.
Whatever
That's
that means.
People say that on YouTube.
All right. All right.
Hey.
Well, we'll take you later.
Okay. Bye, friends. Bye.